What is this? You tell me right now why there's a poop on the floor. Why is there a poop on the floor, ma'am? How did that happen? This is the summary of my life, right?
Oh man!
Any like favorite fan
some fun ones.
I know.
There's some dumb ones too. Those are my favorite.
Loved all since you're almost using that to.
Well, I've got a concept for you. I'll give this to you in a second. But
I would say along for her, and she's been through so much. We're really excited about, and then Will's journey too. He was not in
It's that like spark of childhood. Like that's what our show is about. It's like that spark and that.
Lumos. What better place to film a video about physical mental health in my bathroom? And what is more telling, I just wrapped a video, Christmas video, than cold coffee. So I have me some cold coffee, which is just like almost always the case. Every time I film a video, I want to drink it, but then I put lipstick on and I'm fearful of it like messing it up. But anyway, we are in here because, and we're filming this video because look, the holiday season is not always as cheery for everybody as the Christmas songs put out. And I love the Christmas songs and I love Christmas. And this video is going to be difficult. And I want to say, like, it's been a difficult 2025 for us for a lot of reasons. And I'm going to get into those in here. And please know, and we're in here because I figured let's like strip down. It feels weird. I'm not going to take all my makeup off, okay? These things are on the internet for indefinitely. But I'm going to take this black lipstick off because we got the thumbnail, okay? I might redo it. I don't know. But I guess I want people, and I share some of this in the Discord group, about mental health, and we talk about it. And I did do a post just checking in on everybody because I care about this community. And I think I've kind of realized, like, I've always talked about mental health on this channel from the diagnosis that I have been trying to get. Did we get all the black? Holy moly, she's on the inside. Probably, yep, all over my teeth. All right. I've always talked about mental health on this channel, and many of you have shared that matters to you, and it matters to me too. We're going to be extra here because I need to make sure this comes off. Because I think did we get it over here? What is happening? One moment, please. I feel like I have a lot to unpack in this video, and some of it I've been pushing off and I'm not particularly thrilled to talk about it. And if tears frighten you, maybe click off this video, because there will probably be a number of those. But I know because of the Discord group, I am going to actually put on, like, I think we're going to go with this. I know because of the Discord group and a number of comments that you all have left recently, especially, but just over the years, that I'm not the only one, that everything isn't perfect. And I think it's known by most of you that, how do I feel about the blue glitter? I think it's known to most of you, we're not going to stay in the bathroom, I promise. I think it's known to most of you who watch any creator, but I do think sometimes it's forgotten, even by the best of us and the best meaning, that it is a percent of their lives. And just because the percent of their lives that they put out is the stuff that excites them, it doesn't make them dishonest in any way for not sharing the other bits, but it's always been important to me to share those bits. But I truly cannot record every aspect of my life. So there's that too. All right, let's grab our cold coffee. We're going to go, I think, to the bedroom. I don't know. We'll just bounce around and see what comes out of my mouth. Okay. I guess I do want to say one thing, and hopefully it'll become clear as I share at least the things that have been going on with me. And many of them I've shared. They didn't stop. They continued going on. Is it's really important to me when I'm sharing things. I think I said this in another video and I don't know if we cut it, but there's no bit of content, no bit of content that I would put out that I'm not excited or passionate or enjoy putting out. I just wouldn't do that to myself. And I feel like, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when I talk about like the content on this channel, which we'll talk about in a video in the beginning of the year. I have a lot of beginning of the year plans and I'm excited. But if it ever comes across that I'm not, that is because I'm human too, and I'm going through a lot of things, and I work really hard to not let those come through. And, you know, I've talked about this in the Discord group about like, I don't really watch content creators where it feels like a performance. And what I mean by that is like pretending they're interested in something they're not. Everything I put out, I'm interested in, but I cannot make my body not be as fatigued as it is, as in pain as it's in. I can't pretend that isn't happening. So that's kind of what I mean about like, you'll never see a performance from me. And like you could break that down, like there's variations of performance. Like, I'm not talking about like skits or something like that. I'm talking about like showing off items or showing anything off that you're not interested in and pretending you are. I just can't. I'm autistic. We'll talk about that, but I've talked about it. I've made it abundantly clear on this channel. I cannot pretend. I just can't pretend. So please know, like, it's really important to me. And I've received so many comments. Sorry, that was me just keeping the tears in. We're going to save those for later. So many comments just over the years of filming and sharing that my content has helped you get through things. And that means a lot to me because that was true for me and still is true for me of the people that I watch. I think we don't want to admit these things because I'm a very solo creature. I love being independent. I'm also very dependent on Matt, but we are a special sort of relationship. I think we don't want to admit this as humans, especially with like, there's so much going on in this world and in the country that I live in, and I'm sure all of you in wherever you're at, if it's not this country, are experiencing things. But I think sometimes we don't want to believe that we are so interconnected and feed off of each other and to some degree depend on each other. But to some degree we do, and it is what it is. Like. So let me close my closet door because right now it's exposing all of Matt's presents. Okay. And I guess that's where, let me take my shoes off and just get comfy. Okay. That's where I want to, it's still raining out. I'm really enjoying this. I love the rain. You know, I think I talked about the intro being, you know, it was raining and it just felt very fitting, mostly the tears, but also like, I don't know, like the washing away of things and revealing of like, I just love the rain, but it can feel a little like sadness too, and it felt really fitting. So anyway, the happy, joyous, like, you know, Christmas content will continue, and I don't know why I feel like I need to keep like sharing that. Hopefully you see it in what I put out, but I want to keep it real too. And so I made that post, but there's just been a couple of things and a couple of comments that and just, I know a number of you appreciate it. So yeah, let's just talk about it. So, I will talk about, let's talk about physical health. We're going to save grief for the end because that's really painful for me. So let's talk about the other pain. Okay. We're here for all the pains, the achings, the, you know, the mental pains, the things. And there is something about, and I probably titled it something like this, but there is something about heavy things or a lot of things at once happening during the holiday season that feels like another layer on top. And I love the holiday season. It is the pride and joy of this channel. Like, it is like kind of what this channel really ends up being a lot about, because I love decorating, I love expression, I love finding cool things. But man, it's not fun to have a lot of challenges occur during the holiday season too. So let's talk about the physical ones. Let's wait for that car to stop being obnoxious. Okay. I'll try to move around. I know many of you are also neurodivergent, and sitting in one spot is obnoxious. And I want to like keep movement to things, but I also don't want to put pressure on myself to constantly be moving around. And I'm going to break it out physical health, but physical health and mental health are so intertwined. Literally, mental health can cause physical health like issues. And that is partly the case for me, or so I know, but I have shared, and I've not really gotten into a lot of depth, and I get reluctant because I just don't want to be a bummer fest for people. I want to like, but I also don't want you to think everything is always like perfect and amazing and all the things, and my neighbor's coming out, so this is gonna be awkward. Okay, 1 second, please. And I still won't get in a lot of detail, but I have talked about, shoot, what do they actually call it? Where's my phone? I need to Google my own symptoms. Speaking of Google, this is the last thing I looked up. This is how I soothe my soul, even if I don't buy things, I just look for things. Okay, Googling the symptoms to remind myself the actual word. I'm pretty sure I know it. So basically, many moons ago, probably 4 years or so ago, and I'll try not to reiterate too much. I don't remember what video it was in, but I had a dental procedure. This is the physical aspect. I had a dental procedure where basically I found a dentist. There were a number up here that will remove mercury fillings, because I had done some research and I was like, that seems really unhealthy. I want to remove those. And we'll replace it with, you know, the other like white filling. I don't know what it's, amalgam. No, that's what the mercury is. I don't know, the other one. And well, I found a dentist. He ended up retiring. He was going to do it in 2 different sessions. Long story short, I went with a different dentist. He did it in 1 session. And I had and all of the things were done, like, but my mouth was open for 6 straight hours. And ever since then, I've come to know what it's like to have chronic pain. I don't even know. I think chronic pain is like a thing that's hard for others to like know what you're experiencing, because it's invisible. It's kind of like mental health, like, and I think why it's a thing that needs to be talked about. But basically it was sort of, I went through a specialist. It was called TMJ, if you're familiar with that. TMJ is just the name of a joint, but TMJ syndrome, and that joint is back here. And I learned what I already thought, that it isn't really TMJ. So a lot of people who think they have TMJ syndrome really don't, unless your jaw is actually like locking. But just to give you, basically, this can occur for a number of reasons, and unfortunately there's just not a lot of research out there, and that's why I'm at a point of having given up, because I've tried a number of things, and trying things is exhausting. Advocating for yourself is exhausting. And so I went through a specialist. I got a splint. It's kind of like a night guard. I still have it, but I've tried 3 or 4. I had to go in and keep getting it reassessed. I had to wear it all day, not just at night. And there are other specialists that will do more invasive procedures, all the way up to jaw surgery. And you are not going to see me getting jaw surgery. It's just way too risky for, at least per the studies, for a very, very low success rate. So I will not be doing that. And I've tried a lot of things, but basically for me, what it looks like, and there are a lot of people that have, it's called myofascial pain syndrome. And according to the internet, myofascial pain syndrome is a chronic musculoskeletal condition causing deep aching, muscle pain, stiffness, and restricted movement, originating from I don't know that word, some kind of spot called trigger points, tender knots in the muscles. It is, yeah, that's basically what the doctor at the VA described it as, which is what I already thought. I have been told it's caused by anxiety. I feel like a lot of times doctors want to blame things on anxiety, and while there is a little bit of like rightfully so, because anxiety affects everything in your body, it just does. It does feel like an escape hatch for them sometimes, instead of actually looking further and seeing if there's more going on here and the onus isn't completely on the patient, you know what I mean? Like, and that they've done things, like, trust me, I've tried to assess my own anxiety and I did a lot of things. Granted, I was going through a really, really difficult job, but basically what it means for me is like, my jaw has never felt in the right spot. And that doesn't bother me much. I have a lot of popping and clicking and stuff like that, and that can be just sort of ignored and you just deal with it. Every time I open my mouth, I can hear it back here. But what is the challenging part is basically my muscle. It's called your master muscle. It's the big muscle right here that helps you like open and close your mouth, is in constant pain. But because I do believe it's true, it's actually overworked. Because your body is so connected, it's not just that. It's like, it used to be really bad. I almost passed out from the pain. It is quite bad. And I would get very, very sharp, like pains in my ears and stuff like that. But now it's like, it's so hard to describe to people where you say you have a jaw issue, but it's not really your jaw, it's your muscles. So I have, for the last probably 4 years now, been dealing with like constant pain of my face, tension headaches, where it feels like somebody is grabbing my head and pushing in all day. There is no, I take the Tylenol and I don't even know if it does anything. I think sometimes it's like a placebo effect where I want to believe it's doing a little bit of something, but I've taken more powerful pain medication and that did help, but I can't take that every day. It's just not a healthy way of being. And it's not the answer, you know, like I want long-term benefits. Like a lot of the things I've been recommended were like, well, keep doing this. And I'm like, why can't we get at the actual source of what's happening here so we can stop it? You know what I mean? But basically it's here. It's tension headaches. My whole throat area is like tender to the touch. It hurts all the time. You're basically my doctor right now, and I'm telling you all of my symptoms. The back of my neck and the top of my shoulders are just, they're like so tense and they hurt so much. And the only thing so far, and I'll be honest, I haven't really been keeping up with my physical health, and we'll talk about another thing that's really, maybe it's the one thing that's had an effect on my videos, because I've been getting used to just dealing with people with chronic pain. You just have to deal with it. And until you can really honestly afford help, unless it is a situation that you can, through education and things at home. And there are other things that I need to explore, but for me, the only thing that's helped is acupuncture, but unfortunately, and I won't dive into this too much. I will link a video down below of somebody, and this might be like really mind-blowing to those of you who don't live in the States and don't have to deal with health insurance. My health insurance only covered so much and I had to stop going. So once I stopped, I felt some of the pain come back. So I knew acupuncture was doing something for me, but I couldn't afford it and my health insurance wasn't covering it. But yeah, I'll link a video down below if you want to be depressed and more angry about our current healthcare system and why I'm personally an advocate for universal healthcare. And we have been long due for that. But I will be honest, I don't have a lot of hope that that's happening in this country. So anyway, there's that. Let's locate to somewhere else to the next thing. Okay. The other thing that I feel like has had more of an effect on, and this one does have an effect. It's why I can't do, or I can, but if I do live streams, which we haven't done in a while and I will do, especially for my members. Thank you so much for being a member, FYI. The longer I go in a live stream, basically the longer I talk, the more in pain that I am. So anyway, I've talked about this before, but it is what it is. But another thing that I don't think I've ever really talked about on the channel, and part of the reason I have not talked about it is because I feel like there are some people that want to, knowing that I am vegan, want to make uninformed comments about how it's a vegan diet that is the issue of this, which, at least what I'm about to bring up, is actually more prominent in an American diet. But I also want to say, like, a vegan diet, and if you want any recommendations, I would suggest starting with the book, The China Study. It is mind-blowing. And then Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, I would suggest. There are a number of things on this diet that are either prevented or significantly reduced, but it does not make us clear of all things. And I think in my head for a long time I thought it did, and it doesn't. Like, we're not immune to like toxicity in our water, or like, you know, in our air, and like all of these things. Like, we can't avoid everything, but I do and have taken steps with my diet, and it's done wonders for my health. So if anybody feels inclined to leave a comment about how it's my diet, your comment will be removed because it's massively uninformed. But anyway, one of the things, and ironically, it's mostly people who are not on a vegan diet that I've also watched talk about this, but one of the things that I've struggled with for on and off for a bit is iron deficiency. I seem to never have trouble with B12. They always test my vitamin levels, and I love me some nutritional yeast. If you want to make sure you're getting your B12, nutritional yeast is where it's at. But also, like, during the holiday season when it starts getting darker, even though it is my vibe, really do, and I'm saying this because I have forgotten, but really do up your vitamins that are a little bit more challenging to get when the sun is non-existent. Vitamin D3 particularly, really work on that, you know, and I take my vitamin D. Anyway, I have experienced before iron deficiency, and I never got it quite to the levels that I wanted to. And the issue with our healthcare system, and I don't think this is exclusive to America, is they have a range. It's like a lot of other things. Like, you're in the healthy range if you're this, but even if you're like all the way at the end of it and you're feeling awful, sure doesn't feel healthy. But it's just, I've hit points where I'm like, I feel like I might be a person that needs an infusion. And the really sucky thing about iron deficiencies, and I'm pretty sure I'm confident I am iron deficient anemic, is it is the sort of thing, and this is like of vitamins in general, it's the sort of thing that it takes a while to get to that point. And so it's hard to notice if you're not maintaining it and taking vitamins. Personally, I prefer to get it through my food, but I've come to learn, like, sometimes that's not complete. Like, our food is fucking changing. Like, it's changing. It's not as nutritionally dense as it used to be. It's not a reason to abandon all healthy food, but that is the case. And also, everybody's bodies are different. And I just was telling Matt, I'm like, maybe I'm just one of those people that just seems to like struggle to absorb iron. But I also think there's a reason for that. And also, it varies in women. It varies as you're getting older, like so many factors that I think even just women have to deal with, especially when it comes to iron. But the first time around when I really became deficient, and by the way, if you don't know what comes with that, so it takes a long time to really become deficient and see the effects. And so by the time it gets there, which is sort of, it's come to a head now for me, it results in like, I already deal with chronic fatigue. If you deal with chronic pain, you're probably dealing with some degree of fatigue because it is so exhausting on your body. But it is a whole other level of chronic fatigue when your iron is depleted and you've hit like anemic levels too. And you know, it's everything you would, it's like I sent Matt all the symptoms. I'm like, this is me. I walk up the stairs and I'm out of breath. Like, I feel like an elephant is sitting on my chest. Like, I'm so tired. It does not matter the amount of hours. I could sleep 10, I could sleep 2. It feels like I've slept 0. Like, that is where it's at. And then it started to hit, like, the other thing that will happen with vitamin deficiency, and particularly iron, is the things that don't need those resources and aren't as high a priority to your body albeit your hair and your nails start to see an effect too. And I don't know why I didn't pick up on it, because I've experienced this before, but I have lost a significant amount of hair. And it makes me really self-conscious. My hair is a lot more flat. It's just a lot. Part of it is I've created a nervous habit of like pulling at my split ends. But I've noticed it. I brought it up to Matt a few times, and I think nobody notices things about your body more than you do, and them changing. And I don't know why I didn't just take a moment, because now it's gotten to the point of it's just so flat. So much of my hair has fallen out. My nails have become brittle. It's just that sort of stuff happens when you are deficient. And I have a really good, I do want to recommend this vitamin. I've used it before. So one thing I think I failed at, and so basically as of this recording, I'm like day 2 into remembering to take my vitamins and to take iron. And I'm taking it a little bit at a higher level. I'm not going to recommend dosage. That is for your doctor and your own research and all of that. But I do recommend this product because I did try an iron vitamin when I was last deficient and was doing blood work and seeing like it kind of like fluctuate. And it did fuck all for me. So just because a vitamin says it has iron does not mean there are no standards for supplements. So do make sure you get blood work. I'm saying that to remind myself. Do make sure you get blood work so you can be sure that if you are taking a vitamin that you are really in need of, it is actually that vitamin and it's having an effect. And I can tell you that this one does. And part of the reason, because iron can be really hard on your stomach, especially when you're taking it as a vitamin. Ideally, you're eating it as food. And I eat. So one of my favorite foods to eat is a kale salad. It's literally massaged lemon and avocado. And I learned it on a vegan cruise and I've used it ever since and I love it. Here's the problem. A couple of things. So I was taking this vitamin. I really recommend it. It is combined with vitamin C. Vitamin C actually paired with iron makes it more absorbable, which is really important. What's the point of taking a vitamin if you're not actually absorbing? But one thing I didn't know, and to be honest, I was sort of ignoring last round, is coffee, tea, everything I've read, it's like tannins specifically, which are in those, and everything Matt's read has just been like general caffeine, can really reduce the absorption. So I was taking this vitamin last go around and then having my coffee right after. So in some respects, it was like, it wasn't nullifying it because my iron levels were going up, but it was significantly impacting how much more it could go up. So as of this moment, I am kind of going the safer route and taking it and having 2 hours. I'm taking it in the morning and actually waking myself up a little early, because what's the point if sleep isn't really doing anything for you? And taking it so that I have, because I love coffee. It is really good for my mental health, and it's just, yeah, I love it. And I don't want a day without coffee. It's a sacrifice I'm not willing to make. So instead I take the pill early. This is like day 2, and let it take 2 hours. I've read an hour to 2 hours and I was like, let's just be safe. So it gives the time for the iron to really absorb and the tannins or caffeine or whatever it is in the coffee and the tea to not interfere with that. And then I could still have those things. So that is where I'm at. Like, it's just really, really, really chronic fatigue. I mean, I was recording a Christmas video, and the very end of it, I went out to one more place that really did not need to be added in the video. And I to tell you the truth, I felt like I was going to pass out on my scooter. It affects me like nerve pain wise when I sleep. It affects your muscles. It's a really, really, really important vitamin for your body. And now, because I'm kind of more of a side sleeper, every time I flip over, my muscles ache and I just hurt, like my bones hurt. And I was just sitting there once I realized that's what's going on. And it will take me a while to get to an optimal point and to get my levels up. And that's the downside of something like this, is that it takes a while to get to that point. And then when it's at that point of deficiency, it's really, really in your face, because it's like, I'm really, really, really tired. I'm really, really tired. And honestly, I'm amazed I've been able to do what I've been able to do from like just work and my brain functioning, although I give a lot of credit to the ADHD meds. So anyway, it'll be some time, but that's another thing that I've been dealing with. And now we're going to find another place. I think we're just going to stay in the bedroom because I don't like this lighting. And the bedroom's kind of fitting for, I feel like, the final thing I want to talk about. I mean, I could talk to you about like mental health and the discussion of like ADHD because I've really been struggling. I'm really, really hella grateful for the job that I have. It not only got me out of the nightmare and the toxicity of the job that I was in, and it wasn't the job itself, it was just the whole fucking environment. And I'm really grateful. There are so many wonderful things about this job, and I feel really lucky to have it. So please know that, like, I feel like you can have challenges, and I hope it's clear that you can have challenges and have gratitude at the same time. And one of the things, and this is a challenge I've experienced with everything, and I'm sort of, I was going to say blame it on. I don't like that phrasing. I find it very associated with being autistic, and that is, and it's kind of something that I'll be addressing when I make a video in the beginning of the year, having to explain yourself constantly and feeling like, good God, I feel like I'm being quite clear and having to reiterate and reiterate and reiterate. And I feel like I'm doing that at least on occasions in my current job. But the other thing is, this isn't even what I meant to come in here and talk about, is I've overworked myself. I've gone from a job where I just kind of like sat there and it's very mundane work and I was like playing court cases, to this job actually requires brain power, which I'm like fucking thrilled with. Like that's what I craved. I didn't want to just be a robot. I'm excited to like think about things. But it has come with like, there's a lot of chaos to it. There's no organization. And so I feel like I have to work a little bit harder, and I've pushed myself harder. It's reminded me of when I was in the military and I would like literally take home work with me, and it's gone to unhealthy levels. Like, you know how you can like dish out advice for other people, but you're not very good at giving it to yourself. I literally was telling my coworker, like, do not do the overtime. Okay. Like, this is the situation we're in. And until we can get the aid and training that we need, you shouldn't have to do that. And so I was really proud of my coworker for like checking out on time. And there I was continuing on like another 15 minutes later. So that's just another thing, or more than that. Like, there's been an amount of overtime that is just like, it's detracted from, like the videos I want to record and all of that. But, and we could talk about like autism. I haven't been able to get the diagnosis I want. I'm going to try to. They're basically willing to hook me up because my insurance won't cover it. They basically won't cover it for adults. And I was told that another patient of theirs tried going through and just beginning therapy with them and letting that be more of a reason for, I have Kaiser, for Kaiser to look at that and say, okay, well, they've been getting therapy. Nope, it wasn't sufficient enough. They seem to give zero fucks. And I don't think this is just Kaiser, because there's a lot of things I do like about Kaiser. But they seem to, any place like this country seems to give zero fucks about diagnosing autism in adults. So be really grateful if you can get that in your children, because it is really important to get that then. It could have helped me a lot. It could have helped me to be less hard on myself. It could have helped me to know how to navigate in this life. Like, I said this in the post that I made, that I was going to do a video dedicated to this topic. But I agree with Matt. I feel like if we did, and we put it out in the world, and it just bombed in views, it would hit us a little too hard. So I'm including it in here because it is a big factor in my mental health right now. And I'll add, I haven't even touched on like the things that Matt's been going through, from undeserving rejection that really just hurts me, to his own physical health issues. It's been a struggle for both of us. And we were sort of waiting for an answer on something. And I shared that in the Discord group. It wasn't the answer we wanted. It was disappointing. Honestly, it was angering. And I think basically, for those of you who don't know, our cat Jasmine died October 29th. And she is the third cat we've had to say goodbye to. I wish you all got to know the first that we said goodbye to. He was only 10. His name was Dexter. He was a little black kitty. And then 4 months ago, we said goodbye to Leia. And I think because we were waiting, this was very unexpected. Jasmine was our oldest cat. I guess I'll give a little context. Matt and I have been married for, I almost said 40 years. Holy shit. Matt, is it 20 years or is it 21 years? I think it's 20 years. We hit 20 years in September. These cats we've had for almost all of our marriage. We have been a family of 6 for a long time, and I personally prefer it that way. I feel like humans should always be overpowered by animals. I mean, we are animals, but we put ourselves above everything else for whatever reason. We have done so much together. We've traveled the country together, like literally in an RV, traveling the country before we moved here. I was in the military still when we had them, particularly Jasmine and Dexter. So we got them Jasmine, Dexter, Leia, and then Hermione. So Jasmine was the oldest. Hermione's the youngest. Hermione is who is with us still. Jasmine was 18. And when this happened, we were waiting on other information, and there was just a lot going on. I was adjusting to a new job, and it's been very difficult for us to process. And I think anybody knows this who's lost anybody or anything. The grief process is different with everyone. And this one, it was like, I almost couldn't cry sometimes. I couldn't process it. She was the first one where I couldn't watch the videos. So pulling them up for this video is going to be a challenge, but I figure by recording it, it's going to force me to do it. We've been married for 20 years and we had her for 18. Once we got an answer on what we were waiting on, it sort of unlocked all the feelings. And just the grief just visibly became out there for both of us. Even when I was decorating for Christmas, one of the places Jasmine almost always was on the top of the dining table. None of the other cats went there. She was a cat that just she didn't want any other cats. But that was her spot. That's why I had a blanket up there. So when I was decorating, I got to the dining table because I normally do something on it. And I don't know, I just sort of froze and I didn't know why. And I thought it was just me, just being generally overwhelmed. And I just sat there, and I think I sat there for hours, and it eventually it felt like hours. It eventually clicked. that it just felt wrong to decorate, and I just broke down. And there's been a lot of moments like that. It's a hard thing to say because we love them all. They've all meant so much to us. They are a part of our family. And I think there was at least one of you in the Discord group who said that Jasmine was your favorite. Jasmine was my best friend. 18 fucking years, like, with her. And hopefully you can see it in the videos that we share, but she just, like, it was like, we had the best habits together. She would come in for shower time. It was very regular, almost every day. Sometimes she didn't, because that's the thing with cats, you know, they can be very stuck in their ways, but then they can also be like, fuck that. I'm not doing that today. But most of the time, I would just say shower time. She'd come up in the bathroom. She'd climb on the toilet, and she'd climb on the sink, and I would give her treats, and I'd take a shower, and then some days, not always, she would go, this is probably unhealthy, but she would come in the shower, and she would lick the water. And that was our routine. And we had a lot of routines like that, and every little being that you have in your life, you know, they have their own little quirks and stuff, and she was a quirky one. She loved, like, dried spaghetti and plain tortilla chips. These were treats, you guys, okay? We took care of them. It's like, because we had somebody come into our house, because it was very sudden, and I'll just share what it was. They think there might have been cancer as well, but it was kidney failure. She went from just being a regular cat, and we always knew, because Jasmine was always a very frail, tiny, small cat, that when that time came, it would probably hit quickly, and it would be very noticeable, and it was. And I think it's been hard to not relive her last couple of days. She started to lose the ability to move her back legs, and so we started going in this mode of, like, we were going to start doing physical therapy on her. We thought this was something, we had hoped this was something that we could help, even if it took diligence and working with her multiple times a day. And then it was her paw. And it just got really, really concerning. And I shared that in the video, and we brought her in, and they did blood work. She had felt some things in her, I think it was her abdominal area. But she basically said that her kidneys had completely failed. Like, just, they were, like, she basically told us that this is it. So we had a choice in that moment of, because we weren't expecting that. It was very, very sudden. It was the first cat where we had a full day. To know that the next day was going to be the day we call somebody, which is what we did. We took her home. And I think the thing that, like, runs through my head, a lot of animals, they know it's time. They let you know. Dexter let us know. Leia, it was a little hard because she was blind. I don't know that Jasmine knew. And I could tell she was scared. So it's extra hard to make that decision. And I think she was confused too. Like, she couldn't jump on the couch. She would jump and she'd miss. So I just put her up there. We let her walk down the stairs. And Matt was like, oh, we shouldn't let her do that. And I just couldn't stop her from being herself. But she almost crashed. I don't want to drone on about this. Because I will say that the vet, because I want to share the good things. The vet basically said, I wish my cat lived that long, and that this is basically old age. And I was sitting there telling Matt later on, like, after all of this, that, you know, people always say they want to die of old age, but they don't know what that really looks like. It can look like so many things, and it can be painful. And I'm glad we were able to take that pain away from her.
But it's been a lot of pain in us. And I guess right here is very fitting because, like, my last day with her was on this couch and she just hung out with me and I just petted her. And I mean, this whole last year, she just, like, it was never enough love. She constantly gave me kisses, I think, like, constantly. Like, just would come back. She would let me give her kisses, too. I would say kisses and she'd give them to me. She was a very special cat. So, honestly, I just can't even get into, like, all the things that made her so unique and special, and I'm gonna let the footage do that for you, but, I know a number of you have also lost animal that you love very recently, and I'm really, really sorry for that. And I feel your pain. This one's tough for us. It's been a very different process of processing. So I hope this video, if anything, I hope you know that the content I put out is, like I said, it is what I enjoy doing. But I'm a human being at the end of the day, and I know I've talked about this, so I've just laid out all my humanness and everything that's just been a lot. I mean, I haven't even touched on, like, the autistic burnout. Like, we talked a little bit about it, but literally, like, burnout in those ways has been exhausting. So it's just like thing upon thing upon thing, and then Matt's had his own, and we've just if my brother is watching this, it's been a very difficult year for us, especially this latter half. Colby, if you're watching this, I know you already know this, and for those of you who don't know, he made it possible for us to go to Disney. And Matt just said to me the other day, like, it couldn't have come at a better time or we just would have been depressed. And I think we're both struggling with teetering on that a little bit. And if I didn't have YouTube, I would probably be there. If I didn't have this community, I would probably be there. I know that you all are dealing with a lot of things individually. We, as a society, are dealing with a lot of things. And I just wanted to put it out there. It's an important topic. Mental health and physical health has always been an important topic to me. I don't want to be a downer for everybody. But I know it can be a downer to feel alone. And one of my biggest passions, because I felt so lonely most of my life, is to make it so other people don't feel alone. Whether it's in their grief or other pain that they're experiencing, you are not alone. And we can get through this and, you know, just find the things that bring you joy. It may not alleviate the pain, but it can help you work through it. That is what YouTube's been for me, and that's what this community's been for me. Thank you so much. It would mean a lot to me. If you stuck around, I'm going to roll the footage of the clips I managed to force myself to gather of my beautiful little jazzy bear. My little jazzy baby. I miss you so much. I love you, Jazzy. But I really should wipe that away. Okay. Did y'all watch that the whole time? And nobody said anything? Okay.
Jasmine?
Oh, Father, I just had the most wonderful time.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this little marauder. Look at this little marauder. Look at you. You're fine. It's okay, Vicky. It's okay, Vicky. I know I love it so much.
It's catnip, honey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a brush now. I wonder how the others will respond. They're all quite different. This is our oldest, Jasmine, if you are new. Yeah. Here we go. Just scratchy times. Excuse us for a private moment. Love you. Check it out, Jess. Are you about to prove me wrong? She loves a bed. We love a bed. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be all hers. She's just being a little saver, aren't we? See you later.
Oh, we just walked into this sweet little baby. Hi. Are you excited? Look at that little face. Am I blocking the microphone? Are we doing the thing we said we weren't going to do? I love you so much. Okay.
Seriously, right now. Do you want to just stick your snout in there? Go on, just do that. You got it? Oh my gosh, just don't eat the plastic, please. Oh yes. Here, let's get the plastic out. Oh my God, it's all for you. It's touching you. Jesse, I have zero cares about this mom. We weren't going to take the tree down, but let's spend an hour with this cat, right? I love you to bits and I love all of your bits. That's my phrase. I like it. Because I do. I love your tail bit and your ear bit and your nose bit. Every little bit of you, ma'am. Can you purr for them? There we go. Yeah. So if you needed a little moment of zen, Jasmine's here for you. Mm-hmm.
18 years old. We were just looking up how long cats live because it was my understanding they can live to like 20. She's still going. Ma'am, what are you doing? Oh, we like the crow. Look at that. Yes. Oh, it is quite disgusting. This poor. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Oh, she's not doing it. After she gets treats, she goes over here. She gets her waggity tail because she's so happy. And normally she's a moaning myrtle for 10 million years and then drinks water. Yep.
What are you doing?
Just leave on the beach. Where did the
Get off that stove. Oh, my sweet little angel. She's just been hanging out with me every day, right?
I'm not stopping you from going to school and learning new things.
Kisses? Do you want a chip? Chips for you?
Ask for invasive time, correct?
You're so good.
I'm sorry, always.
Look at a grumpy face. He's not grumpy though. He's not grumpy. Are you a water drinker?
I'm sorry, are you wanting something? Do you want something? It's a wind-up toy?
Look at this thing. Look at this thing. You just can't get close enough. She's purring. You can't hear it, but she's purring. We're getting ready for a vlog. We're going to do all the spooky things. Are you excited?
It's never ending. You're never ending. I know. Oh, my sweet baby. Get them purrs nice and close. This is a good closing, right? A good closing argument. Hi, I love you so much.
Oh, I'm sorry, Raja. But I can't stay here and have my life lived for me. I'll miss you.